Hello, welcome to another episode of Out of Stand Nation, and Fatal February is continuing.
Right?
It is.
Yeah, and some of the stuff that came out this week is really surprising for me because I wasn't expecting to get slayed like this hard. Others didn't slay me as hard as I thought it would, so let's get into the content and find out.
And Jihoon's back this week.
Right?
I am.
He's
returned.
disappeared every so often,
It happens.
He was
right?
dead last week. He couldn't do anything.
It's
Fatal February got him.
February. Exactly.
Alright.
So I had to restock on some lives. So, so just bring it in with some Pentagon.
Yeah.
With Dr. Beauty. So Pentagon was on my radar after their last comeback, and I feel like with this now I can consider myself at least a soft fan. I don't know. I think maybe I was a soft fan on that last comeback. So I'll move that to like a hard stand because I really love this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Nick, why don't you go ahead and bring us into the music a bit?
So, we start off with a chant in the music, which
I love chants, by the way.
True. So. If you have been listening to Pentagon's other comebacks, it's been a lot more lighthearted, been a lot more, fun-having type of music.
Yes.
This is something that's a complete 180. Like their fun lightheartedness is gone, and now they're here to slay. So,
yes.
And the first words of the song are "love, fall, hurt, and crazy."
Yeah.
Which you hear that also get repeated throughout the song.
Which was basically all my emotions inside of this song. And then they go to this kind of weird 808 synth vibe off that chant.
Which I normally don't like, right? If you recall.
Right.
I normally don't like that at all. So, yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely interesting to see because going to a synth 808 vibe off of that is a hard transition, but they made it seem effortless. They made it seem so simple.
And like this song, it could be a club banger, right? With some tweaks, but it's not like a full-on banger of a song either.
Right.
So I don't know. For me, I feel like it strikes a very nice balance with that sound and that feel. You got that kind of. It's not like that super overly like masculine sound and feel, but like for as guys, like it's like I can get down with this and like
it reminded me of something. I like listening to it. I don't remember what. I just know.
Are you sure you're not thinking of The Boys? Because that one made me think of X1's was it you got it?
No, I feel like this one kind of reminded me of EXO.
It is rather similar style to EXO.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess that'd be natural for why I would love it, because I love EXO. So
yeah.
This was very similar to like pre-tempo EXO.
Yes.
Because tempo was a bit of a different switch up from their normal style, but yeah, it was very similar to what people would think of as a classic EXO. And so I'm really not surprised that you kind of hear that. They also use a very similar chord progression to what EXO would use.
Yeah.
So I can hear it.
Yeah, visually too. Visually too.
I was about to say that was the next thing I was going to bring up was visually as well, because even the visual style. I mean, it's not like we're not trying to imply or say
not saying it's a one for one. No.
No.
Right.
It's not too uncommon among boy groups to go with this color style, this kind of feel for visually.
Same with like the what's it called, like the theatrics of it too.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's very popular, and it's not a bad thing to go with popularity.
I mean, it did kind of fall out of style for a bit. It had like a minor resurgence last spring, I want to say.
I'd say a little bit earlier.
Too much of the style.
I'd say a little bit earlier than that. Again, it's not a bad thing. there are definitely people who like it. It's except for me, it's one of the things that turns me away from boy groups is this kind of style. Not my style. It just feels either really angry or solemn.
But it fits the mood, the lyrics.
Oh, it does. It
So
very
well.
much does. It very much does fit it. I'm just saying that this isn't my kind of song.
Because like, especially towards the end, because like you're wearing like the dark and black
Throughout most of the music video.
clothes throughout most of it, and then they transition into wearing white.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I mean, you can interpret it in so many ways. Like because of the expressions in the reds and the blacks, it's so much more intense, so much more like pain. It's very much of how you would go through in a heartbreak, where like there's so much pain, there's so much anger, there's so many like conflicting feelings going on at the same time. But at the end, everything goes white. Everything goes like meh.
wasn't it at that point a song too where the song resolved itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, they definitely went back to tonic there and made a resolution in the music.
But it's also like at the end of like all that like heartbreak and all that, it's you almost go numb sometimes. And I feel like that's how it goes, you know, for this music video. Like you they just go solemn. They hit that numbness of that heartbreak.
Right.
I mean,
I saw it more as like purifying themselves of those emotions.
I mean,
to get ready to like move on.
That could very much be taken in that way as well.
And this is kind of the beauty of K-pop, because there is no like one right track to interpret a video.
Yeah.
You know.
Until the director's
like, hey, this is how you actually interpret the video. But you know,
this is actually my intentions.
Right.
Most of the time, usually the director doesn't speak on it because a lot of people interpret things a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
To let people take it in and make it their own.
Yeah.
It's definitely based on
like
personal
that
experience.
personal investment.
Yeah.
So I would say like compared to what we've seen from I would say like the boy group market in general, I think this is a good change up from what we've had fairly recently in the past few months or so. So I think that was another reason why it was such a like it had grabbed me so much, because otherwise like what was it Stray Kids, right?
Right.
Who else we got that has done this type of style in the past few months or so?
For me, I honestly feel like Pentagon. This music video has been in line with a lot of other boy groups. But then again, that's just me.
I think we're definitely like with the help of Stray Kids, because it's primarily Stray Kids pushing this at this point. We're ushering in a more rap heavy boy group kind of era. Because like when Stray Kids started, they had 5 rappers primarily in a group of 9, and that's a big distribution normally for a group. You know, a group, if you have like a set of 9, you're gonna have 1, 2, and probably a sub rapper. But like them having 5 rappers, and then you know moving into like what they're doing now, where pretty much everyone can sing and rap at the same time, which gives them a lot more versatility. They're kind of ushering in this like boy group kind of rap era.
Which I think that's another one of the big reasons why Stray Kids is so popular with the Western market as well.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at some point in the past, 10, 15 years or whatever, like hip hop became synonymous with pop in the American music scene.
Right.
Yep. And I mean, also on top of that, at the time that Stray Kids was really formed, we had a couple people doing the same kind of concept, but it was never as rap heavy as Stray Kids kind of does it. And that primarily is influenced from EXO, because EXO had rap, but it was never their focus. You know, their focus was always on those vocals hitting those high notes, stuff like that. So
if you want to go back a little bit further than that too, even Big Bang.
Yeah, we have Big Bang as well, who kind of helped usher that in. So I think the shift in boy groups is what we really needed for a little while, because you know it was hard. Like listening to all these groups come out, and it's had a very similar concept, you know.
Right, a lot of overlapping concepts, and then it also broadens their appeal to the Western market. So, it's like again, right, in Korea alone, it's so saturated.
Yeah,
it's very saturated.
Yep.
So how do you stand out from each other? Well, I don't know. You know,
and I mean now
you're trying to find other markets.
And now you have like, you know, you have Ace, MC&D, DKB.
Yep. Yeah. MC&D, bro.
And so you have now Pentagon. You have all these groups kind of going to that more heavy, hard hitting rap focused kind of concept. Pentagon is still very much vocal focused in this sense, but I think this is definitely indicating a shift in concept for a lot of groups.
Right.
Kind of just like how Girl Crush was kind of ushered in back in 2018.
Right. Yeah. So, with Pentagon, I think it's great that we get to see this side of them, kind of display that kind of the versatility that of the group. Because I mean, you know, their last comeback put them on the radar for me. I did love that style, I love that lightheartedness, but at the same time, we get this, and you know, when I now know that if I want to get something into more of a aggressive mood, then it's not just Stray Kids. I can also fall back onto Pentagon.
Right.
So, you guys ready to move it on?
Yeah.
I think so.
Let's go.
Okay, so, who is most excited for this comeback? Hands up.
That's my job. And I already had one planned for later. And now it's just gonna sound cheesy if I do it.
You both sound cheesy, okay?
What do you mean? Mine are great, okay?
Whatever.
Because mine are natural.
You know what?
Let's just get to it.
Yeah, let's get.
This is Cherry
I
Bullet.
can't argue with you guys. You guys burn me out.
And let's just Ji-hoon, go. What are your thoughts?
All right, Cherry Bullet. So it would, for a lot of people, right, especially who followed Cherry Bullet last year when he debuted, it would seem it could almost seem very foreign to them. But if you listen closely, their musical style is still there. I mean, especially when you go back to Q&A, their debut song. Except you crank up some of that sassiness that was already there in Q&A, and it's toned down some of that cutesiness, which the cutesiness is still kind of there, more visually than it is musical style. So there
was so much attitude.
Right.
Yeah. So they took in a bit, you know, they did, not just a little bit more. They added a lot more, and I feel like they got help from AOA. Their Sundays.
Yeah.
Because like we saw a lot of this character from AOA with their last 2, 3. Not 3. Bingo Bango was more cutesy.
Yeah, Bingo Bango.
Right.
So I know with AOA, they kind of flip flop. They flip flop
because Bingo Bango was more like the precursor to like Q&A.
Yeah.
And then, what was the name of their last? Come See Me. Well, their last comeback, Come See Me, was like the precursor to this comeback. So,
I mean,
as a music label, we're seeing that label style here.
Did anyone notice the classical song reference in this?
Yeah.
Yes, For Elise.
Yeah, for Elise. Yeah. The second I heard that, I was like, all right, we stand, it's done.
Yeah.
So
like, because moment I heard that, I mean that was a pretty good drawing for me because I love classical music as well.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a kind of like a cheat code for me as well. You know.
Yeah.
On top of like funk, right? You throw on some of that, and I'm gonna start loving it. So.
Yeah, and I mean also like, it's like I played cello for 15 years. I'm basically played classical music for 15 years straight. You know. And so naturally I had to listen to a lot of it and to understand the music outside of just playing it and blah, 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 blah. And so I've heard For Elise 1,000 times. Yeah. But like hearing it heavily synthesized and used in a beat, it's very, very refreshing to listen to.
Yes.
Especially for me. But also I feel like it's a piece that enough people know that they're going to understand where it comes from. Because I mean,
it's familiar.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you play Brahms or Rachmaninoff or any like lesser known composers inside of classical music, they're not going to understand what's happening.
Right.
Yeah,
They're
the
gonna be
general
like,
population
oh,
is gonna, it's
yeah.
gonna fly over their head.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh wow, I can't believe the producers came up with this. It's like, well, they didn't, but you know.
So what I thought was interesting about that too is, I almost felt like, because like I listened to the song like maybe 4 times like straight the first time when it first came out, and I had it on repeat for a week. I almost feel like a lot of like especially for like our longtime listeners, right? For like our dozen of them that we have,
You the OGs.
I would feel like they would be wondering like, you know, what the heck is up with me? You know, you expect me to say like this is a very repetitive song, but like in a way it is, but they have enough details in there to keep it fresh from start to finish.
It's in the same way that Twice is repetitive. Because Twice in themselves as a group, and this has been like a reason that people have not stand before, is because they're very repetitive. Like, especially like you look around like TT era. It was just a lot of repetition. But Twice did it in a way that made it catchy, not repetitive.
Right, and so like the catch, you get the combination of the catchiness, and you know, besides like your typical song structure, they have enough like details and effects in there to help keep it fresh.
Right.
So,
So this actually reminded me of a group that would actually sing this song well. And it's funny because it's a boy group.
Huh.
Ace. Because it's a completely similar style to what like Ace does.
Okay. I mean,
and so that I thought about that for a second. I was like, I would actually like pay to see a cover of that. That would be hilarious.
yeah,
I mean, it
and they
could be
do it
good.
too.
It could be really good. To be
It
honest.
could be. But like, I feel like with everyone, and this is where I'm going with that, is with everyone, this song is versatile enough that you could think of a group and they could probably pull it off.
yeah, and you know, so I got to thinking about, because I was like one of the first 8 people to watch the music video when it
Yeah, I
came out,
saw the
released.
screenshot for that.
And one of the Korean commenters, one of the Korean commenters, like they wrote something along the lines of like, don't. It's like the person was saying like they almost don't quite recognize him because like the style is so different or whatever. So it kind of goes back to like what I was saying in the first place. Yeah, I mean I could kind of see that, but like because you do kind of have to kind of dig in there to catch like those the musical style and the visual style that you're used to from like when they debuted, especially with Q&A.
Yeah,
but the visual style though is a lot more different.
Oh yeah,
it is.
It's a lot harder to find that cutesiness that you're used to.
I feel like with this, it's showing that they can flip flop between cute and more mature styles, which is something that I feel like they did with AOA, where AOA did Elvis when they first debuted, and that was a bit on the cuter side, but eventually they went to like stuff similar to like a cat or Moya.
Right.
I love Moya. Yeah.
But then they also did what was it? Heart Attack. It shows
Which I love Heart Attack too.
which does show versatility, and if I feel like Cherry Bullet's going down the same road, not the exact same road, but showing different sides to the group where they can be both cute and sexy, or girl crush or whatever.
I think some of it also is them trying to find a style that fits all of them together.
Right.
You know, they're
like,
trying to
right
find
now,
Cherry Bullet, and this happens a lot when groups debut.
It's not just Cherry Bullet. I feel like what FNC Entertainment is doing is like establishing their brand identity more. Like they're fleshing out that identity some more, because with AOA, like what I was saying, right? That kind of flip flopping between those concepts.
It shows off their producers.
Yeah, you know, and I think they're really trying to kind of carve out like, yes, we can own these concepts as well. It's this, you know, like with AOA, because like, that was like their only real group that they had at the time, right? Besides
And Flying.
and Flying, you know, it was kind of like what is it? Let's go back to YG, right? YG has a very distinct personality
Yeah.
as a label.
For
Right.
sure.
SM Entertainment has a very distinct personality in terms of sound and musical and video production. So because FNC doesn't have as deep of a portfolio as like those other like larger companies do, I think they're really establishing their brand even further with Cherry Bullet. So sorry, not trying to get too deep into the business side here.
Yeah, I do see them trying to establish something like that. Because I feel like
I'm not trying to discount what you were saying earlier either. I'm just saying that that's just another thing to take into account.
Yeah.
So
I mean, because from what I've known, I know a bit more about some of their other like people who are under the, or at least were under the label, such as UJ Sok. He's incredibly popular, and I think that they want to be able to not rely solely on one group or something, because like Seol Hun, for example, she is a very versatile member of AOA. Unfortunately, that versatility isn't also put into the other members, but I feel like I really hate to say this because I do really love AOA. Cherry Bullet is kind of their do-over, where they're not focusing on one member.
yes, so you it's great that you're going in that direction, because I did want to talk a little about that as well. So with like AOA, when AOA, Dashabet, I forgot what, like Hello BNS, when those groups debuted, like years ago, a lot of people in the K-pop scene were saying like, this is it, this is like the new generation, this is the Gen 3 right here, right now, which didn't quite panning out that way. Now they get referred to as like the Gen 2.5 groups,
Right.
The bridge between Gen 2 and Gen 3, and those groups never really did. They never succeeded in overtaking like Girls' Generation and 21 as like the top groups.
Right. I mean,
what you're expecting with a Gen.
They did get huge popularities.
They sure did. They at some point they came close.
Right.
But it wasn't just that small span of time. But we're talking about over the wider gap of time.
Right.
They fell short. So, I think FNC is trying to not make the same mistake as like they did with AOA.
Yeah.
So, because there was a lot of thrash, right, with that was happening within the group. Oh, not so much within the group itself, but within the management of the group.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, to get back into the music video though, like the costume designs and the set designs were really amazing too.
The production value is very high.
Yeah.
I mean, like FNC, I feel like FNC is throwing a lot of resources into Cherry Bullet.
Yeah.
Because we saw a bit of that. I mean, Q&A wasn't so super high in production value, but they started cracking it up a bit more with really.
I feel like it was, but on a different side of things, where like Q&A was more of the digital effects and special effects. That's where most of the production value was, which takes away from the set production. Which is cheaper. Like, CGI is usually cheaper. Not always. It very much depends.
I mean, so it's the reason why Hollywood prefers CGI versus practical effects. Practical effects always looks better, especially like when you're talking about like movies.
I'd say it's easier to control with special effects, rather than practical, because practical effects you really have to be really skilled. And it's hard to
be in full control of the environment as well.
Exactly. Whereas,
it's like you talked about before with the set lighting and if you're shooting outside, the time of day, whatever.
Yeah, it takes so much more time. Whereas CG, it doesn't take as much time. And
that's where it comes into being cheaper, because time is money. The time that you waste waiting around for the sun to come up at a certain time, that's time lost. That's an opportunity cost. So
it also very depends, because this one, was very much indoors for hands up, which is the opposite of
Q&A.
Q&A. I'm sorry, Cherry Bullet. I'm having a hard time remembering things. But no, it's just depending on what the production and where it's produced, very much changes how the production value is too.
But you still have to build the set, build the props, because like,
Oh yeah.
my God, what was it? Kill This Love for Blackpink.
Oh yeah.
Like that scene where they had all the cereal boxes and like, they had custom designs for each of the boxes. Those for the cereal,
yeah.
just for that one scene for Lisa to just smash it all down.
Yeah, or the sparkle tank.
And then, or a sparkle tank. Like that was a real tank.
Yeah.
That's a real tank. And they had to like bedazzle it, like coat every single part of the outside of it.
I feel
like,
sorry for the team who had to bedazzle a tank.
Yeah. Right. And then,
there's a fast way to do that. They just mat it, call it a day.
Yeah. I mean, you still gotta bedazzle the frickin' mat.
yeah, it's
And usually they can sell them in mats though.
Yeah.
but it
Makes life
still
easier, but-
takes a long time.
It does.
especially to the intricate detail that they did it. So
Yeah.
even with this the sets, they weren't like overtly complex, but they had enough details to them that it does make you feel like FNC is definitely putting in a lot more time and resources for Cherry Bullet
Yeah.
that they deserve. I feel
Yeah. Before this gets repetitive now, let's go on to our next subject that Nick has been, I feel like Nick has been emanating a desire to speak about.
I've just been waiting so that I can put input in because y'all are talking about visual shit and that don't make no sense to me. I'm colorblind. Y'all don't understand this.
I mean,
Like, what don't y'all understand? Like, come on, man. No, I'm just playing.
It's all right. It's
I'm
the
just
same as
kidding.
like when you and I talk about music.
That's
or
true.
just sitting
It
there,
just
it's
goes
like,
over
oh,
his head. Dude, you should have been here last week, but you were dead. But you should have been here last week. I had so much to talk about with Everglow.
Yeah.
Over his head.
Which, by the way, or I've been meaning to apologize about that because I know, what was it? I think the episode before that, and you mentioned like you didn't know what ska was. I'm like, yeah, I'll get around to respond to that, and I never did. I'm like, sorry.
it's
I
whatever.
didn't mean to blow you off, man.
It'd be like that.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out later.
Yeah, I don't mean to
So-
blow off anybody like that. So go ahead, Nick.
So the next one that we're here to talk about is Card.
Yep.
We're excited to come back with a Red Moon. This is their 4th mini album. Almost 2 million views. And honestly, I was like, current card style, I won't like it, but I like it a lot. I do.
I mean,
I think this is definitely a step up from LiQWYD, right?
yeah, I prefer this over Dumb Liddy.
Which
And I mean,
you eventually came around to Dumb Lady,
I
right?
eventually came around to LiQWYD. I like LiQWYD now. LiQWYD's kind of lit. But yeah, okay, listen, it's really lit. If you listen to it 50 times, you'll like it. I guarantee you.
But then I'm
The first 49, not so much, but the 50th
I'm gonna take your words that you used from a episode like I don't know 20, 30 episodes ago. You shouldn't have to watch it 50 times over to like it.
You shouldn't, and you should. That is correct. You absolutely shouldn't, but you will, and that's the point.
I mean, I'm still on the fence with Red Moon. I like this style a lot more than Dumb Liddy. It both visually and musically, it's very much more balanced, I feel, and the whole Latin feel.
Yeah. So this is where I was gonna go with this. Is I think I know like they're super popular in Latin America.
Yeah,
They are.
They are very popular,
They are very.
and
popular.
that shows through in their music.
I
think that there is-
They even say a few Latin words in the song.
Yeah, they have BM actually has a full line in Spanish.
Yeah.
And I mean that's fine. But it when you have too much of it, okay, and this is the thing, is American and Latin influence works really well together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because especially since throughout, if you go back, like maybe the past 70 or 80 years of American music history,
they've always
you
been
see like those
influenced.
periods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've always been influenced by each other.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is a thing called triculture influence, and it usually doesn't work. when you have a significant amount, if you have a little bit like Card used to do, right? It's fine. But when you have a straight, 33% of each, usually it doesn't work.
Yeah, because you do kind of have to like use it.
I feel like
It's kind of like a pyramid, right?
Yeah.
Where like the bottom third and the top third.
Yeah. And so usually it doesn't work. Now, does that mean it will never work? No. Music theory is just that. It's theory.
Mm-hmm.
There's no right or wrong. But usually it's something that you try to avoid a little bit. Because it's hard to... There's... At 33% of the song being one culture aspect, it's hard for that person to relate with only so much,
Right.
It's not enough of context.
Right. And I feel like Card is on the tipping point of that, and they're playing with that line a little bit.
And here's the other part too as well. Going back to triculture, you've heard of the theory of cultural distance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because like you got North America, you got South America. Geographically, they're close.
Very.
Historically, they're close. So culturally, they're also very close.
Naturally.
But then you go across an entire ocean.
Yeah, and then you're at Korea.
And you're in Korea. And that's typically where you got that. Not trying to use a big word here. That split between East and West, right?
Yeah.
East and West, you typically want to go like somewhere in between, leading up from East to West, right?
Right. Otherwise, it creates a dissonance.
Exactly.
And
so
I feel like, like I said, I feel like Card is kind of playing with that line a little bit. They're toying that line to see where they can and cannot put enough influence,
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, for example, most of the Spanish, BM usually takes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This also makes sense from a producer's point of view because BM is American. That means he learned Spanish in school. Naturally, also
Spanish friends as well.
Yeah, naturally, also his accent is going to be better, and more relatable for Spanish speaking. So this also makes sense. But when you only have one person in the group that does primarily speaking in that language, inside of a song, it also creates a distance inside of the group. So there's a bit of a little distance going on here, and this is just me nitpicking with the group, honestly. I still do like the song, and I think the song is good because I'm interested in that triculture influence and how they're making it work,
right?
Mm-hmm. When it theoretically shouldn't.
Well, so I think the reason why it can work so well here is because you're talking about North and South American, Latin American culture. So because of their historic closeness, it's the reason why it makes it easier because those two cultures are already so close. It'd be like if we're taking Korean and Japanese style and then mixing it with like a North American style.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It could work. In fact, you do it right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you're not Card, but other groups.
Right. Because in this aspect, the chord structure is very Latin.
Yeah.
It's very Latin. But the beat is naturally American. It's very American hip hop.
I feel like with each comeback lately, I'm seeing less of an American influence and more of a Latin influence. So I think they're using. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. Okay, this is absolutely not saying it's a bad thing, but they're using American influence as a bridge, which is why I think it works so well. Forward Card,
I mean,
is using it as a bridge to connect the Korean and Latin aspects.
And I mean that makes sense because a surprising amount of Latin America follows Korean pop.
Mm-hmm. And
it's good. It's good.
And it is.
There's a history there too because in South Korea, I want to say like the late 90s or so. I think there was a period in K-pop where like Latin American themed music was like big. I mean, well, it wasn't like it didn't like overtake to become like all of pop, but you had a pretty good, not so small to be a niche, but there's quite a few artists who made their name by releasing like Latin American themed music.
Mm-hmm.
So South Korea has that history, and now like they're building upon that even further and exporting it back over.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's really cool. Like
Yeah.
that is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, so it's eventually I think Card will make the transition from kind of this Latin / American / Korean kind of fusion that they have now to just a Latin Korean fusion.
which I think is what they've been trying to do, and
Right.
which
Because if you look at like Onana, or something that they produced when they debuted, it was a very just Korean American,
Right.
influence. I mean, it had a little bit of Latin influence, but it wasn't like what it is now.
I mean,
And
I do.
so I think they
I
are
do
making
like
that transition.
did like Onana and the beginning of Code too.
Right.
Um,
Onana, Rumor, all those.
Yeah, those were really good. But I think now that they're that they're moving towards a style that fits them, I think Korean Latin Korean or Korean Latin fusion is really more their style, and it works.
Right.
Yeah,
and for you, Nick, because I know you go back and listen to like Gen 1 stuff as well. Check out Baek Ji Young and her album Happiness? I think it was. That album is entirely like Latin American theme.
Okay.
So this I never expected us to go into that direction with a discussion on Card.
I mean,
which is really cool, by the way.
Last time we did talk about like not being fans of LiQWYD, and whatnot.
And so stabbing. Who was it that stabbed herself with her sword?
Oh, Jiwoo.
Okay.
I can't believe they used a real sword for that.
Yeah.
I hope that the members were safe for this recording.
I will tell you, there were no swords.
Yeah.
I think for good reason.
I think that's an improvement for Card.
I think they established that DSP Media cannot be trusted with swords.
Yeah,
so.
PD definitely learned their lesson. They were like, you ain't handling a sword. No.
Nope.
Never again.
Not after what happened last time. Almost got sued for that.
I do like the costume choices and the set design for this too. I felt like it went really well. Comparatively than LiQWYD. Especially using like the special effects at the right times, the lightings at the right times. Like it was really spot on for this song.
Right.
But I do honestly feel like I like a little bit of the older Code songs better than myself, like Onana and whatnot. Heck, I was just listening to Onana yesterday. But that's besides the point. But this style does very much work for them, and I am kind of curious on how far that they can take this Korean Latin style and how they could actually influence other new groups to possibly go maybe different styles of K-pop with Latin music or African music or whatever, but be able to mix it well.
Right.
I mean, I think the possibility is definitely there because, again, like I said before, like 20 years ago, K-pop had that niche, or not so much niche, but they kind of had that subsection of K-pop of Latin inspired. So, you could see a resurgence because of Card.
Yeah.
So.
Let's go for it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely have to watch Card closely and see if they actually make that transition.
Well, I feel like we're always gonna watch Card anyways.
I am. We stand.
They're the only co-ed group. Like, well, there is another co-ed group.
That is true. They pretty much own the co-ed market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like the other one that debuted last year, to be honest, I forgot the name. I think they're called DAN.
I mean,
but they only had one release last year.
Don't forget K-Tiger Zero.
Oh my god.
Oh right.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I mean, honestly, we haven't heard anything about them either from their debut.
Well, so yeah, they did just put out something on Instagram. I just glanced over, so I don't see what it was. But hopefully,
out of the three of us,
K-Tiger Zero.
Out of the three of us, I'm the one who remembers.
It's sad because I just listened to Now the other day.
Oh my god. Yeah. So.
All right, yeah, Stanky
Let's
Tigers.
move it on.
Oh yeah, let's move on.
Go ahead,
So
Noah.
Next we have Rocket Punch, Bounce.
So, who's taking it? You, Laura?
Huh?
Start it off?
Do you want me to start it off, or
I'll start.
Yeah, okay.
So Rocket Punch Bounce is an MV.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we were not expecting this at all from William.
Yeah, so basically, if you have been following us for a while, you know how William goes. A singular sound, a singular producer, multiple groups. So that's like the William motto.
Singular songwriter too, because it's all.
All right. now you're flaming William. So, while Jihoon puts down his tea, they came back with
Bounce.
They came back with Bouncy, and it is a completely different style than what we were expecting from William, and it is good.
Yes.
That William is experimenting with.
Yes.
This like new sounds, because I think William has finally realized that one sound cannot carry their company.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that, and I think they're finally got the courage to do so.
And I mean, it realistically that sound has really only been restricted to their girl groups.
Mm-hmm.
Because their boy groups do a ton of concepts.
I feel like it was starting to influence their boy groups a bit more.
Because Golden Child still had some of that William sound too.
It did.
But they did branch off more.
Yeah, Golden Child also had a specific sound for them and other concepts as well. But girl groups are most notably a singular sound for William. Mm-hmm. And now that we have Rocket Punch getting a different sound here, it's looking like Rocket Punch might establish their own sound as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
breaking out of that kind of William sound.
I feel like it's a little bit influenced from when Lovelyz was on Queendom. To be honest, because they saw the reception of the different styles that the Lovely members did, and they decided maybe take a little bit of the William and add some spice to it.
Yeah, and to further add on to that as well, because if you remember back when they were talking about forming Rocket Punch, we were talking about where William may go with Rocket Punch's concept and their sounds. They were definitely paying attention to what was going on in the market as well. Like, we saw what was going on with late 2018, early 2019 Girl Crush Onslaught. And then, I'm definitely also seeing a lot of that Itsy kind of like Itsy dollar, like we just do whatever we want, and you're gonna take it no matter what you put.
There is definite an Itsy vibe to this.
Yes.
Yeah,
but not ripping them off. Either.
Right.
No, I will say this is not a song that I can listen to. It's really just not for me. Like, the song is good, the song is well written, but it's not a song that, like, I'm gonna want to sit down and listen to it. Yeah.
Because wasn't it the same with like Dollar Dollar as well?
Like, it is. Well, Dollar Dollar was more sacrilegious to me than anything else. I'll be honest. And I mean, while I have listened to Dollar Dollar a few times since it released, I much more prefer Icy.
Yeah, I'm very much with you on that. And
how it flows. But I feel like this 808 bass that's really like staccato in the bass line is not really something that I like. I feel like it's too hard hitting for what like how they're being portrayed inside of the MV as well. It kind of creates a distance there that I don't like personally.
Yeah, I would say like while I did react very positively to the song, I want to say that the bulk of that positive reaction is just back like it's William, they're doing something different. and they're not gonna let Rocket Punch get shoehorned into one singular concept.
Yeah, I honestly, with me, I can't tell. So like, I like it, but it's not. I think Inside the Song is not something I will listen to because I have to take away the hype that Woollim is not having something that, like you said, that is Woollim sound.
Yeah,
And when I take away that hype, I think the song is very. This is gonna. I don't mean this in a bad way, but there's no better way to put it. I think the song is very mediocre in aspect.
Yeah, because even like, don't get me wrong, I listened to it like maybe 4 or 5 times, right when it debuted.
Right.
And a good part of that was just like I was trying to figure out like, okay, how much of this is just is hype and how much, because like I didn't find myself getting moved as much as I was hoping to get moved by the song itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that the song is bad or anything.
Right.
In fact, it was still kind of on repeat for this week for me. So,
I mean, I like the song. The music video was really busy.
It was
incredibly busy.
Question
It was bright.
about the music video with the costumes. When they had the Burberry clothes on, the skirt and shirts and whatnot, do you think Burberry actually sponsored the video?
Maybe, I don't know.
Because like that's the first thing I thought of when I saw the skirt. I'm like, wow, that's Burberry inspired like skirt. And then when I saw the shirt, I'm like, oh, it's actually Burberry.
I don't know. Probably because at least
because it was very blatant.
Yeah, probably because they if it's sponsored, they have to basically use it.
Because Woollim's not a very big company either, and I would think that they would need to help with funding as well.
Yeah. So yeah, it is possible. Where there could have been a bunch of sponsorships that could have influenced the music video itself, and could have changed how it was originally supposed to look. I'm not saying that it did, but it is possible.
Yeah,
it very much is possible.
And oftentimes you see, something sponsored inside of a K-pop MV. It's just naturally at this point.
I mean, if you even
it's just whether the product placement is more obvious or less obvious.
Yeah.
It's like what was it inside of Dalla Dalla?
Yeah.
Fiat.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all dancing on Fiats.
On top of Fiats, yeah.
I mean, if you look at Momoland, you see Wonder K like in all their MVs.
Yeah.
Like you'll watch the wall and you'll see Wonder K.
Right? On the wall, on the pillar.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it's very much sponsored. Possibly sponsored. I'm not going to say it is.
What did you think of the busy set designs? Because like it was really busy.
It was incredibly busy. It very much took away from the girls, and it just didn't go well. I like their costumes, but it just didn't go well together.
Right.
And I'm sure it very much hurt Nick's eyes watching it. Colorblind people. But personally, I still liked it, mainly because I feel like they're still growing. They still have that possibility to become better, because they very much with how we were talking before with, I think, Cherry Bullet, they're still experimenting with their style.
Mm-hmm.
And it's moving towards a direction that could very much change how Woollim sounds.
Right.
And I wonder too if they're also trying to expand their appeal to the Japanese market as well.
Oh, for sure. Because you see Jury, definitely see Jury a lot more too.
She's very prominent, and also Woollim had experienced firsthand through Lovelyz that they can have success in Japan even without actually actively promoting in Japan.
Yeah.
Because Lovelyz actually holds an annual concert in Japan, and they've never released a Japanese album.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, it would be interesting to see what Woollim does with Rocket Punch.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'll ever get to be more than a soft stand for them.
I think I could definitely grow to a hard stand if stuff changes.
I mean, I'll always support them.
Yeah,
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I'll support them.
Stan Rocket Bunch.
Right. Is there anything else you guys want to add to it?
No, I mean,
I think it's alright.
that was really about it.
I mean, so because it is getting to 50 minutes.
yeah, I was about to say, like, do you want to move it on?
Yeah. There were so many other songs that we could have talked about, like Moonbill's Eclipse, Miyu's You Got the Love, which is a Japanese release, and episodes
would have been able to talk a lot about that one too.
And episodes Open My Door, and so many other artists, but obviously that would take forever.
Yeah.
So, listen to those songs. They're going to topple you, honestly.
Yeah, Stan literally every one of these groups.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's
our MV of the week.
starting with Aura,
Me? What? This is
because I want to keep making suspense.
fair. Because mine is really hard. I've got two in mind. I've
He's
honestly
gonna say hands up bounce, isn't he?
no, actually.
Or You Got the Love from me.
I am actually going to go with Eclipse by Moonbill. We didn't talk about it, but her style and how it's different from some of her other releases, because it's showing the versatility of Moonbill through her songs and her dance abilities. And through the MV, it is amazing, and it very much reminds you of boy groups in a way. And I gotta give it to Moonbill.
What about you, Nick?
Well, shoot.
He's gonna name him. He's gonna pull a G. He's gonna pull a
I think he's
G.
gonna say.
No, I pulled a Jihoon last week. I don't think I could do that this week.
I think he's gonna say Cards Red Moon.
Oh man. It's really hard because all these groups are really good. I'm gonna go with Hands Up.
Hands up.
Wasn't expecting that.
I think Hands Up is a really solid song, and especially with how versatile the song is itself, and how versatile and how well the group can also pull off this song.
Right.
Shows that they have a lot of talent, and that they like to pull off the song with fusing in a classical piece with doing all these other things. It really shows that like they can actually pull off harder concepts.
Yeah.
Concepts that are much more difficult to actually relate to. And so I think definitely, yeah, we stand.
Yeah. I mean, that was my second choice, to be honest. That was my conflicting.
Yeah. So
I think I know where Jihoon's going.
I was trying to buy myself some time to.
I know you were.
Pick one, because
Don't pull a Jihoon.
Pentagon's Dr. Bebe,
Yep.
Cherry Bullet's Hands Up,
Yep.
and in Miyu's You Got the Love.
Yep. I knew those three were gonna be there.
What?
Like those three have really, really, really got me like torn. So
My bet is on Pentagon.
My bet's on me.
so you both are actually really close, because I did narrow it down to that. To those two, because I lopped off Cherry Bullet because Nick had already picked. So just because he picked, I feel like I have to pick something different. I feel like I have to pick something different because of that now. So
I kind of figured that.
So I'm gonna have to give it to Pentagon. Miyu was close, was very close. So but
He
I'll
actually
give it to
picked
Pentagon.
one this week. That's pretty impressive for him.
I mean, for those who haven't listened to Miyu, listen to it. It's a bit okay. As you have to get past the 9-minute pause in the beginning and the end. Okay.
The 9 second zero song.
9 second.
Yeah.
So it's
No audio in the beginning.
or video. Period.
Yeah, it was just all nothing.
So if you can get past the 9-second blackness, which is literally just a black screen, you'll enjoy the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you also like her other release from before that too, Exceed.
Yep.
Yeah.
At the moment, on her own personal channel, it's only got like 800 views.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the quick shots because we're going to keep on talking about them now.
I know. You can just talk forever.
All right. So quick shots. I'll start it off. Twice's Mina has come back on stage. Joyous occasions. OT9. She is performing.
OT9.
She finally performed. As Twice finally performed. Feel Special as 9. Oh my God! It is.
The once in him is dying.
Oh yeah.
Right. They released the stage show. I'm so happy. so happy. And then while the happiness is going, there's also unfortunate news on the other side of me. Because this is an idol I've actually watched debut back in 2008. Matsuri Jurina has announced graduation last Saturday. So she will be graduating soon. They're going to prepare a stage and all that for her. So, because she is one of the top members, she is one of the legendary members in the 48 family. She is one of the aces of SKE. She was the double Jurina. Or, not Jurina, double Matsuri. But so she's going to have a huge concert similar to, maybe even bigger than, I'm forgetting her name. Why am I?
Sashihara Irino?
Yes, Sashihara. I feel bad.
I don't even follow them, and I knew that.
Oof.
I'm sorry.
You can't really talk to you, and we forgot about K Tigers.
Yeah. But no. I'm sorry, Nako. I'm sorry, Sashihara.
No, this is J-pop you're talking about. Ora loves J-pop.
Do you realize how many members of 48 there are? Okay. I remember a lot of members. You try.
By the way, it's not 48 members. It's a lot more than 48.
Yeah, if you thought it was 48 members, you need to read up. It's like a billion.
It's and if you add in the graduated members, it's been a hefty amount.
Yeah. Or is also a 48 member.
Yep.
When did that happen? Fly me to Japan. I will dance with the 48 members. I'd be.
You would too.
Oh yeah. Bad Boy. One of the Bad Boys members did do it one time back in like 2012, I believe. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Alright, let's move it
on to the sad train with Nick.
Alright, well, to make Aura's sad news even sadder, actress Gu Soo-jung has passed away. Her Story J Company explained in a new statement that she passed away due to an illness. Basically, the funeral procession was held privately on February 9th with her family present. And the agency also commented that they will forever remember Gu Soo-jung, whose bright smile shined upon the world, and added a rest in peace afterwards. She debuted through Goblin in 2016, and then she also starred in Solomon's Perjury and the music video for BTS's With Soul.
Yeah.
So she wasn't that old either.
No, she wasn't. She was born in 1995.
Yeah.
So definitely condolences to her family and everyone that knew her personally.
You know.
So with that, we're gonna get a little hype now to bring us back up from this.
Let's bring it back up.
So Parasite made history with 4 wins at the 92nd Academy Awards, also including Best Picture. Parasite was nominated for 6 awards, Best Picture, Original Screenplay, Directing, Film Editing, Production Design, and International Feature Film. It made history as the first ever Korean film to receive a nomination for Best Picture. And
I think it's the first foreign film, period.
Yeah. Bong Joon-ho is the first ever Korean director to receive an Oscar nomination. Of the 6 nominations, Parasite walked home with 4: Original Screenplay, International Feature Film, Directing, and most notably, Best Picture. It's the highest accolade of the night. And so a Korean screenplay taking away the highest accolade is definitely a big thing. It's the first time in history in the Academy Awards since the award ceremony began that a non-English language film has won Best Picture. So, a picture was posted later of President Moon Jae-in vibing with everyone there, and they did like an after party, and A's actually performed at the after party. It was wild. Fan cams.
Didn't they party till like 7 in the morning?
Oh yeah, and Moon Jae-in was there the entire time. He was vibing.
Yeah.
Yo, stan Moon Jae-in.
Yeah. We stand.
We stand.
And watch Parasite. Go watch the movie. It's
actually, yeah, go watch Parasite. It's actually insane. So we definitely congratulate them on their Oscars win. So, Blackpink. We've made a few jokes about them over the past. Reportedly, how they are CF models.
They could use a comeback. They could use a comeback.
And also, Stan Twitter has also been getting on them about people calling them idols. It's been a whole thing. Well, Blackpink is here to prove them wrong, because Blackpink is reportedly now preparing for a major global project.
What it is?
That is... Well, we have a little bit of information.
Do we?
On February 11th, a global music distribution representative reported Blackpink is secretly preparing for a major project that is the largest scale to date.
Bro, as if their music videos weren't already big enough.
As if their music videos weren't already big enough, they are planning a global project that is going to be the largest in scale and probably cost. In response to the reports, that YG obviously had to comment, said it's difficult to confirm at this point. The agency added they will repay with good music and positive news, as fans have waited for a long time. We would be thankful if fans wait for official announcements made in the future. We ask for your understanding. However, it has also been revealed that the group is aiming to make a comeback early this year. So it looks like from this that while the date has not been set for Blackpink's comeback, that is going to be a global music project. So we are definitely excited to see what Blackpink is doing, and we'll also be definitely excited to see exactly what their next comeback is, and if it is before a year after Kill Yourself.
I kind of want more sparkle
I can't stop
tanks.
flaming. I'm so sorry. I really tried.
I kind of want to see more sparkle tanks.
We absolutely have to see more bedazzled sparkle tanks. If there's not at least 2 bedazzled sparkle tanks, I'm gonna be upset.
They're doing it wrong.
They need to double every vid. So it's gonna be like 1, 2, 4, 8. You know, eventually the whole MV is just done in a bedazzled sparkle.
I mean,
tank.
why not? They already spent
Bedazzled helicopters. Bedazzled helicopters.
Would you put it past YG? Because I wouldn't.
Just see them coming into the MV in a bedazzled helicopter.
Also, if this doesn't add, another update about Blackpink as well. If this doesn't add to the jokes about them being CF models, they recently did a photo shoot for Vogue. Everybody go check that out. Their pictures actually look really good.
Yeah.
Rosé is center, which we stand. So definitely go check them out.
Was this the one with Lisa and her black hair, or?
Yeah. Lisa has black hair. We stand. Also, I think there was a couple pictures in there where she actually had like a very light pink hair, from what I understand.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm colorblind. Don't judge me.
Judgment.
So yeah, definitely go check them out and their cover for Vogue. Hopefully we get to hear from them soon.
Yeah, and speaking of hair, you know,
great transition because I get to throw it to Jihoon.
All right. So, Mnet, they posted a video with Eyes One, small teaser right for their upcoming comeback. Long awaited, thank goodness.
Long awaited.
For those of us who are a bit more eagle-eyed, notice that Chiwon cut her hair.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So our fairy's kind of going more for like the pixie look. So not quite there, but yeah. Oh my god.
I mean,
it's
all the
insane.
girls.
She looks so good.
All the girls changed their hairs.
Yeah. Sakura, she got black hair now.
Uh,
I almost didn't recognize her. Well, at least in the teaser photos that you posted. So.
Yeah.
Well, so the teasers were from like months back for the MV.
Now her color is kind of starting to come back.
Everyone's hairs has changed color since the teaser photos.
Yeah.
We've got purple, we've got pink, we've got but yeah, no.
But hey, with that teaser, it's just great. It's just great to see the girls on camera again, right? Back out there. They got smiles on their face. They look like they're actually enjoying themselves and not like struggling.
Yeah.
So
they were also coming back to the Sakura, Hitomi. They're coming back to the radio shows too. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it's great. Hopefully, all that drama from last year will start to get put behind them.
Definitely.
I just remembered something else. That's really good news.
What's
right.
up?
Eyes One there has been some words. It hasn't been officially announced on KCON Japan yet, but words are that they will be at KCON Japan. Me. I'm so happy.
Yep. So definitely make sure to look out for all of that.
All right.
Yeah, make sure this has been Idle Stay Nation. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Click that bell icon if you want to see more from us the second we upload. Make sure you join our Discord because we post there all the time, and honestly, some of that is pretty much teaser for what we're going to talk about. We have a Twitter and an Instagram. Follow both of those.
Do it.
And that is all for this video. Thank you for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Later.
Bye.